Alright, what's up? Today, I'm going to be analyzing Sam's 103.56 that he got a few days ago. This is compared to my 1 flat 49 because that's what we did with Varrz, and the reason why I wanted to do this is because I kind of wanted to, compared to Varz's 106, I wanted to show how big of a difference there can be between a 106 and a 103, but I also want to show you, the difference between a 1 flat and a 103, because there's a 3-minute gap between me and Sam, and then a 3-minute gap between Sam and Varrz, although Varrz did PB recently, but ignore that. I might also analyze a 109, but I don't know. Nobody has a 109 at the moment that's, like, worth looking at, so I don't know, but anyway, let's get the show on the road. Let's just do, like, 1.5. I'm just gonna assume that Sam's loads are, like, average compared to mine, which mine are average anyway. Did he... I don't think he is. For these PowerPoint cutscenes, if you hold a button, I don't think, like, the triggers work or whatever, but if you just hold, like, A or whatever, then it'll try and skip the cutscene, like, ASAP. You definitely want to do that, because that, at the very least, it didn't look like he was doing that. So he's already lost frames, and already, you can tell that his movement, well, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell his movement's already a bit off. Like, the main thing between me and him now is going to be movement. Obviously, there's some other stuff too, but movement is going to be the biggest thing, and I'm also partly making this video to emphasize how important movement is. So, if we take a look now, he's already wiggled twice. Look now, right? He already did a tiny wiggle there, and then he did another tiny wiggle. Probably lost, like, fucking 3 oh, he did another one. Yeah, see, this is what I mean, right? And he did another one. I thought he was about to do truck skip. I was about to fucking rage so hard. I do not like the runner spin here. It's like some old shit that runners should not be doing. Like, these runners, runners seem to think that for some reason spinning here is optimal when it's, like, not, because you're not covering the same distance, yeah, but you're also spinning, which slows you down. And, like, it's like, oh, well, the rock is pushing me, but it's like, it's just making you descend faster. It's not like you're still losing time from spinning anyway, plus you're still losing the speed in midair. Like, you cover the same amount of distance by just walking over to the truck, just jumping twice. You don't need to spin. I mean, hardly any runners do this anymore, but it's clearly, like, slow. It should not do it. That looked fine. I don't really... I guess that's faster if you do it optimally, I guess, but, like... I don't know, because, like, you kind of have to be unoptimal at the end, that's the thing, like... Kind of pushes you a bit at the end, I don't know. I feel like... I don't know. It's hard to comment on that, admittedly. This looks, like, fine. And he's actually panning the camera down. Okay, that's good. Does the buffer? Yep. Also, I have Sam splits, but I won't be looking at them that often. It's mostly just for, like, gold comparisons and stuff. Like, I think I said this in the Varrz video. A good way of telling how good, like, someone's movement is their depression gold. Because, yes, there's tricks, but, like, the bulk of it is essentially movement, right? I mean, you know, there's some tricks, but, yeah, bulk of it is movement, and, yeah, like, most people have, like, 214, 215, 216 depressions. Am I gold? I think it's like, I think it's just barely not a 207. I think it's like 208.5 or some shit. Wait, hold on, I should probably be looking at his, That jump was pretty... He could have, like, tapped A instead of holding it. Or at least not held it for, like, as long. But, I mean, he probably knows that. He's wiggling around some more. And this, like, depression, again, will be a good showcase of movement, I think. That looks slightly unoptimal, but it's fine. So, he missed the token frame, so that's already, like, 5 seconds down the drain. Not the end of the world when you're going for, like, a 103, but... Still, definitely stings a bit. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? If you are going to avoid the foggers here, you want to hug the left side, right? Because, well, he wiggled around some more. The way that this trigger is angled, it's slightly leaning more towards the left than right. It's possible that doesn't actually make a difference because of how little it's tilted to the left, but even then, he could have cut the corner slightly sooner, which meant he could have walked up to it a bit sooner, and he wouldn't have, like, wiggled to kind of, like, jump around the foggers. It's even easier to dodge them. So that would have saved a tiny bit of time, while also making it completely impossible for the foggers to ever fuck with you, like, ever. That's strange. Not doing the... Okay. That is strange. It saves half a second to do, like, some ledge grab shit. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably know what I'm talking about. I don't think I need to show it. This gives you a better angle for this, but if you're buffering it anyway, then I don't really... I feel like you should just be... I don't know if his gold has the ledge grab strat. That was good. That was pretty good, actually. Like, I would have cartwheeled for a tiny bit longer, but that was actually, like, pretty good. Although he took a slightly wide turn at the... nah, that's fine, really. So all I can really do is compare it to his 211.05, which, again, I have to assume our loads are the same, and I have to assume that, well, I'm just assuming that he did, like, the ledge grab stuff in his gold, so... And that he split correctly, so 211.05 compared to, I believe it's like, 208.01. So, just 3 second difference between our golds. Now, that being said, I almost never get 208s. But even still, like, a good depression for me is probably like a mid to high 209. So, like, that's probably the difference in our movement is, like, he's losing, like, obviously, in the later levels, he's going to be losing more time as he's not as used to the splits, but if he plays every split as good as depression, he's losing, like, a second per minute of movement. Ish, compared to me. Based off of his gold and my gold there. This sandwich driving looks fine, although, I don't know, I was yapping for like a quarter of this, or a third of it, I don't fucking know. Does he do sandwich out of bounds? I'm pretty sure he does. Varrz was doing it too, that was a little slow. That's also a little slow. Oh, wow, he goes right up to it. Yeah, I don't like that. So, this turn is slow because, he needed to go wider here. Like, you go wider here so that the turnaround is a lot more, like, optimal. I would have turned around, like, I don't know how much faster, but maybe even, like, half a second faster. And then here, you also, like, want to go a tiny bit wider here. And I don't go up to it, because the problem with that is, if you're a little lacking in height, then going even closer to it is just not going to help. This looks like it would make it even more likely to get your wheels, like, stuck on the edge here. It's possible to get the patty Like, it barely touches the edge of the platform and you bounce back in bounds. Well, you didn't get out of bounds in the first place. And I feel like this would make it even more likely. And he lost speed there and got a wide turn. Although he is preserving his last nitro for the fountain. You want to cut that. Not, like, entirely, but you want to, like, partly cut through here. It does save time, or at least I'm pretty sure it does. It could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware. That was a good nitro. Indeed, indeed it was. And that was a good nitro. Yeah, so the sandwich driving was mostly pretty good. The issue is that it's been so long that I don't remember what my sandwich driving gold was here. Like with Bulldozer. I think it was like 245 or 246. I don't know. 245 sounds correct, but I don't remember. Anyway, we got 3K. Okay, so a lot of runners make this mistake. He's bashing at the here, which is optimal. I like that, but he's jumping into the cutscene. You want to jump a little outside of it and then walk into it. You'll enter it slightly faster. And while we don't know for sure, it's believed that, like, when a cutscene is starting, like an animated cutscene, if you, like, stand still, if you just don't move, like, at all, it seems to, like, load it faster. And we base that off of, like, well, we're making assumptions. But, the cutscenes on GameCube take, like, 5 billion years to fucking start. And it seems more consistent if you stand still. And the GameCube cutscenes are extreme, but, like, you know, the same kind of thing probably applies here, because there is variance. So, it's good to get into the habit of, like, knowing where the triggers are and just kind of standing still. Or at least, like, in this case, at the very least, just not jumping into it. That'll probably save something. You can do this a little faster to save, like, a quarter of a second, but I get why he didn't do it. Like, you, like, jump here, and then you kind of, like, do a small turnaround here. You can see my cursor. It's not very risky. I've lost a couple runs to it. I mean, more than a couple, but you know, my reset rate to it is probably, like, 1 in 30 or some shit. Like, it's nothing. Right gang, that's good to see. Left gang is fucking stupid. Oh, he turns the camera here. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It doesn't really lose anything. My only thing with this is that if the slammer is running up towards you, you're not gonna fucking see him, but he usually doesn't get in the way, so this is fair, honestly. Yeah, his angle wasn't quite, he needed to go a little more left. Because you want to, like, jump out of the rock, because now he's just lost, like, 2 seconds. Maybe a second and a half. Bounceless? Yes, indeed. Yeah, he kind of, like, wiggled a little. Again, it's just, like, these tiny, like, wiggles that I don't know if, like, the viewers can see. But again, just, like, definitely accumulating time loss. I don't think you need those manlies. Like, I know those are quick manlies, but I really don't think you need those. How much do you even get for that? 426, 486, but there's 2 10s, so 30 manlies? It looks like, yeah, he's getting, like, 30 manlies. That's, like, nothing. I mean, if you even spun the foggers in depression, you'd be... If you spin 2 of them, you'd be getting more than that. And because you're not spinning in midair, it would actually lose less time. Because again, you lose your speed in midair as well. Although, even if I'm misremembering and it is still a 3-frame time loss, like, there's still more potential in depression. I don't know, I kind of feel like those manlies are not needed. Okay, this might sound really bad, but I haven't done a run in a while. I genuinely can't remember if you're actually supposed to spin this, so let me... That probably sounds really bad, but... No, you don't need to spin there. If you fuck up the timing, though, you could, like... you could slide to the left or right, and it would just be unoptimal and shit, but... Ideally... Also, you made a small mistake there, but... Yeah. Actually, I did notice that a lot of people are starting to go this way, as it is, like, a little more optimal, but I go this way. I actually take a slightly wider turn. Because it is actually hard to get in between this and have it be optimal, because usually it pushes you slightly to the right and then you're just not saving anything. This is a more direct path. But if you do it perfectly, I'm sure it saves time. So, some runners might be doing this part slightly more optimally than me. Yeah, I don't like that, because you want to have yourself lined up, like, here. Because then you go, like, mostly straight here. Otherwise, you have to adjust. Yeah, he didn't need to spin there, but again, that's just, like, that's, you know... You can't really blame people for spinning there. I sometimes do, and then they realize, like, oh, I didn't have to. And he does the little... There's a little jump up here. That's cool. Oh, and he does the bash. Yeah, so bashing there instead of bash boosting, if you do it optimally, I think it saves, like, 5 frames or something like that. Like, 4 to 6 frames, I would say, is a good estimate. Yeah. It would have been cool to analyze, like, a 102 from, like, Usta, but he never, like, got the 102. He stopped before he could get it. Yeah, this is about the fast cycle. It's, like, slightly slower than what I get, but, like, hardly. Losing, like, hardly anything here. The indicator that I get that this is slightly slower is because, like, this fan is a little higher up. And then he wiggles around a little more. Like, again, he could have been a little more aggressive with that turn, and then after that, he could have been... Again, you have to look at my cursor, but he could have gone, like, this way and done a tighter turn. He did a decently tight turn there, but yeah. But still, this run's looking pretty good so far. I noticed a lot of runners, like, don't turn their camera here. I noticed a lot of runners... Well, maybe not a lot, but I've noticed that some runners don't turn the camera there. I've always, turned the camera. But I've seen runners either turn the camera in the opposite direction or just not move it at all. Doesn't really matter, but I just find it interesting. You can jump from, like, here to here and save, like, a few frames. And I would consider that, like, a free time save, so I feel like, in my opinion, might as well go for it. Upgrading cartwheel at the end, love to see that. Because if you cartwheel there, it avoids a lag spike, because when you upgrade, you're basically guaranteed a lag spike with very few exceptions. That is one of them. So, that is nice to see. Alright, now let's check out this rub-a-dub skip. Actually, what I should do first is check, okay, so you got a 1022. Let me check for more. 1022.21. And I got 1003.07. Wait, did he avoid bungee? Yeah. Okay, so Sam is avoiding bungee. I forgot to note that earlier. So the time difference between us is 19 seconds. And that's already a pretty big difference. Obviously a big contributing... Well, two huge factors in this are, him not only not doing fast sandwich out of bounds, but doing a slower bulldozer than what I would have done. And then a side thing would be not doing the ledge grab shit in depression. And, he didn't get the creek token frame. And he didn't do truck skip, so... But yeah, fast sandwich out of bounds, plus, like, the creek token thing. If he did both those things as optimally as me... how much time save would we be talking? Probably, like... 13 seconds? And then when you factor, truck skip plus the ledge grab thing, that's, like... 14 seconds? Maybe a bit more? No, I'd say, like, 14 seconds. No, it's... Yeah, 14 and a half. So... But then, obviously, then there's still, like, several seconds of time lost from just, like, movement and stuff. That's a scuff setup. Wait, hold on. Let me watch the fight. Let me watch this in full. Alright, so I have no idea if he's using, like, D-pad. But, like, I feel... Because this kept happening to me when I was on D-pad. If your angle is, like, too aggressive, like, if it's too far down or too far up, forward, then the tub can tilt either this way or the other way. You do not want that, because it's really hard to adjust. I use stick. I don't fuck with D-pad rub-a-dub skip, but yeah, this is like a fairly common issue with rub-a-dub skip, I feel like, with the D-pad. I mean, you still can do it, but now, like, your speed's a bit fucked and you need to readjust, and it's just making it harder. Now it's less lenient, although he did get it. Like, that was a pretty good setup considering the circumstances. That was actually very good. Okay, so here... you can literally just fall here. It should be slightly faster, because then you can cut the corner a tiny bit more. Probably saves like a frame or some shit. And I'm curious to see what he got. Alright, so he got a 52.65, and I got a 51.96. That is very interesting, because, I do a version of rub-a-dub skip that's a bit faster that I'm not saying that he should do. I don't recommend it, as a matter of fact, for, like, most people, because it makes, the setup harder, but... You could do this, and then you have less speed for the trick, which makes it harder, and you have less time to just... for mental prep in general, but, his rub-a-dub skip attempt was faster than mine. He jumped at a better time than me. But yeah. So my rub-a-dub skip was only like half a second faster than his. A bit more than that. But that's surprising because I should have saved more time than that. So I think his actual rub-a-dub skip attempt after, like, not counting the way in which he set it up, was faster, interestingly. Yeah, I think, he was able to build up more speed. Maybe this doesn't save as much as I thought, like the way that I do it, because you have less speed. But then again, you'd want less speed to make this more consistent in the first place, like, more control. I don't know. Yeah, maybe my shit doesn't... I mean, I'm still gonna do it, because I don't find it hard to, like, cut it, but yeah. Anyway, BBBH. Oh yeah, another reason why I wanted his splits was because I wanted to, you know, see his, some of best and stuff. Which I think it's like 101.52 before the beginning of this run, or like at the beginning of this run. Anyway, his jumps were perfect. Hold on, how was his movement to the... Yeah, alright. Well, okay, what you actually want to do is cartwheel along this way, because you initially lose time, but then you have a direct path to the barrel, and there's, you know, there's a low chance of breaking it with upgraded cartwheel, because, look, he already stopped so he could jump on the box to then jump on the barrel. Like, the way that I'm doing it surely saves time, because I can cartwheel for a longer duration. And, like, the way that I go initially loses frames, but then I get a good path to the barrel anyway, so negate a lot of it. But yeah, the rest of this is good. Let's see, does he do the fast fight at the end? No, he does this. I do a faster fight that saves like half a second, so I'll show it now. Ah, for fuck's sake, was this before I didn't realize it was before. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it saves like half a second. Can't be asked to get it up, but what you would do... Dude, I really didn't... Okay. I think you... Yeah, so you kill, like, that fogger in midair. And then you would, like, jump here and then cartwheel into the spinner and then kill him. Oh, wait, no. Wait. Yeah, it's some shit like that, I don't remember. XD. But yeah, it's like half a second. I really thought my gold had that, that's surprising. Yeah, that turret is just like RNG. Okay, yeah, so... Here... You want to slam on the first step. Because think about it, right? He was in the air for a longer duration of time. If he, slammed earlier... then he'd be able to cartwheel for longer because he could cartwheel all the way down the steps, but instead he skipped a couple steps. Now he can't. So he was in the air for longer, and, you know, unable to move because he was in the middle of slamming, and his cartwheel wasn't used to its max potential. That turn was slightly wide. I'm curious to see if he'll do the... Okay, he did try. He partly failed. He probably, like, braked even is fine. Lost frames from killing that turret. I don't think you need the manlies, but we'll see. I'll see how many manlies he has, and then I can comment. What the fuck? Not buffering this? Okay, right. So, I'm assuming the reason why he's not buffering it is because, the start and select buttons on the OG controller are, like... It's honestly, like, they could barely be in any worse spot. Like, they're in almost the worst possible spot they could be in for this game. Because we need to utilize start and select quite often. But, like, I don't know, bro. Even though it's a bit tricky, like, it pretty significantly increases the frame. Like, I'm not sure what it increases it to, but I want to say, like, a 4 frame or some shit. I mean, you gotta generate the lag to then make it, like, a 4 frame, but it's still way easier than doing the one frame. I don't know. I feel like if... I don't know how much he was practicing it, but I feel like if he just practiced it more... probably have it consistent by now, because when I was first learning buffers, I was initially getting it more often without buffers for the one frames shit. But after like a week, it finally settled in because I was grinding it every day. I feel like he needs to grind it more because I feel like in the long term he's just going to keep losing runs to BBBH, and probably now that I'm in floating block, he's probably not buffering this and now that I'm in floating block either. That double jump was unnecessary. Or rather, you could have cut it sooner. I've talked about this before. When you jump on a platform as Patrick, like, to be as optimal as possible, you want to be, like, as close to the edge as you possibly can, because that allows you to cartwheel for the maximum duration. Every single time you do that, you risk a ledge grab. So obviously, you don't want to be fucking ridiculous with it, but... yeah, I don't know. Like, could have saved some frames there. You want to slam on the front end of the button. He slammed more towards the middle. You want to slam more towards the front. Because if you go too far back, then you actually go underneath the conveyor belt and just fucking die. So it is just to avoid that from happening. That was kind of wide. Okay, I think he did that so that he wouldn't have to jump from here to here. But I don't think that's worth it. At the very least, I don't think the turn needed to be as wide as that. That was pretty optimal. Yeah, that's pretty optimal too. He tried to warp to combat. I've done that many times. And we don't really need to look at this part because he's not doing fast corkscrew. If he's gonna go for 102, I would maybe recommend... I feel like fast corkscrew is a reasonable trick to go for when you have, like, a 103 or lower, because, like... I don't know, it's not that... Like, it's hard, but it's not, like... I don't know. I would argue the guest jumps are harder. Like, Guess jumps are weird because like they're like the easiest advanced trick to learn because it's easy to comprehend. Whereas with this, it's like sponge bowl is quite heavy and slow, so it's kind of like and you probably won't make it to the cycle at the same time every single time. So the amount of time you wait for slightly changes, and yeah, it's kind of, you know, and also like I'd imagine like when you're this far in the run, you just. Well, again, I was about to say, like, guess jumps save more, but it's much later in the run. You have less nerves here. You might still have nerves, but you have less nerves. I don't think it's that bad. If he's gonna go for, like, 102 in the future, I would recommend learning the trick. I might show my fast corkscrew in a sec. And he got the 1 frame. Nice. So let me just... Oh, I will say something else as well, by the way. I will say something else. So yeah, standard fast corkscrew. Got the 2 frame like a boss. Alright, so, in my opinion, if you are not doing fast corkscrew, then you should probably do BBBH Sponge Bowl later. And what I mean by that is that after grabbing the warp, I think people should warp away to Rubber Dub. Well, Crow asked me if they should do that, and I said, you know what? Like, yeah, if you don't mind having a different split from other runners. I mean, it does make it, like, hard to actually compare to other runners then, but... because people don't do that, but it was kind of a recent realization, because it's really easy without fast corkscrew. It's basically casual. And yeah, you will occasionally miss it, but you'll occasionally miss everything ever. So, you know, like, I don't know, if you can get Rubber Dub 2, like, over a minute, like, if you could do it, like, over a minute sooner, I feel like that's just beneficial, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? So I feel like, I mean, I don't know if he wants to do that, but, like, that's what I would personally do if I were him, and what I think other people should be doing too if they're gonna be doing Rubber Dub Skip, is that, you know, grab the Sponge Bowl Warp, but then do Rubber Dub, then Sandwich Driving, then Sponge Bowl, in my opinion. It just makes the most logical sense. And again, it's like, oh, what if the run dies to Sponge Bowl? Well, what if it dies to ST-102? What if it dies to Rubber Dub 2? What if it dies to fucking Weenie and it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? What if, what if? Alright, so he immediately kills himself. That is good. I've seen players try to get the 1 frame jumps here when they're just not at the skill level where they can get it consistently. If you just immediately kill yourself, like, that saves, like, 2 seconds over attempting it and then failing it. And that's in the best case scenario. You might get, like, most of the way up the slide, and then fumble the last jump or whatever, and then you tumble down and lose loads of time. Why have all that stress after already getting probably a first try Rubber Dub Skip, and then you're about to do the second one? Why have that stress? For 7 seconds of time save? I don't think it's worth it, honestly. Also, as well, if you're doing the setup where, like, you jump to the back here, you have to do, like, 1 extra 1 frame jump. So it's effectively even harder if you're doing, like, the standard Rubber Dub Skip. And I already said about this before. Alright, so our splits, like, the way that we split is, like, identical, so we can start comparing again. Well, we already could have been comparing, I just hadn't for a while. I'd say, yeah, we can... I'll be a little more fair and compare out of BBBH, because... like, I usually don't even get the 1 frame jumps in Rubber Dub 2, I just kind of happen to get them in my run. So, my Rubber Dub 2... I mean, my BBBH exit is 1437, and his is 1507. So there's a 30-second difference, which isn't bad, honestly. You know, no fast corkscrew. So, like... and he missed a 1... honestly, yeah, that's not bad. That really is not bad. His BBBH gold is a 351, and mine is... 339. So, like, 12-ish, like, 11.5 second difference, I think. Neither of us do the fast combat stuff at the end. And he doesn't do fast corkscrew, so his gold would actually be, like, 2 seconds-ish off of mine. I mean, yeah, like 2 to 3 seconds off of mine, which is really interesting. That's... Because, like, that's weird, because, like, I noted multiple mistakes made, like, movement mistakes. I wonder if that thing that he did in the lava room, it actually is faster. That's, like, a hard thing to time, because it'd probably only save, like, a few frames. It's like, hard to... I don't know. That is interesting, though. That his, like, would-be gold would be, like, quite close to mine. Anyway, SC-102, we don't need to see it other than sandwich out of bounds, so let's have a look. Again, you know, you want to do a wider turn than that. Additionally, I don't really recommend this, but after the turn, if you nitro, like, here, it saves, like, 4 frames because it immediately picks up your speed. That's, you know, you might bump into the bulldozer, but, you know, time save is time save. I'm just making up 4 in my head. It might have been, like, 6 frames. So it definitely wasn't, like, 10, though. It would have been, like, 4 to, like, 7 frames. Yeah, that looked basically identical to... Yeah, so we got, like, a low 219. I think with this I was getting, like, 217s, so, again, it's just, like... Yeah, just, the time loss, like, adds up, but obviously, fast sandwich out of bounds, nobody should be fucking doing this shit, bro. Like, you probably shouldn't be going for fast sandwich out of bounds until you're going for, like, a 101. Like, it's so fucking... Ugh. Maybe I should have showed it for... Just to, like, I usually go into a lot of detail about it, but I've done that so many times, I'd rather just show it. Although this is when I was nitroing here, you don't want to nitro here anymore. It's kind of just worse, you want to nitro, like, here. That makes controlling your speed here a lot easier. And it loses, like, a few frames, like, it's just, yeah. Anyway, yeah, my turn that was slightly wide, that wasn't even, like, fully optimal. What did I get, though? Okay, so... I saved, like, just over 5 seconds compared to him, because mine was, like, a little unoptimal. But, yeah. Alright. Well, actually, we can properly compare golds. 247.38 versus 254.58. Wait, really? That much time loss? Oh, I think that might be with ultimate sandwich out of bounds, though. So if I'm right, then it'd be more like mid 248. Yeah, so I'm saving like a second over him compared to his like setup, like a second and a half. Anyway, this is looking completely normal. Actually, wait, let me absolutely make sure. Yeah, okay, yeah, perfect. Fucked up the menuing there. It'd be like that sometimes. I don't know why, like, no other runner does, like, they don't even try to replicate my floating block. And yeah, it's hard to know whose is the fastest because I have the best movement, so even if you are doing something faster than me, mine's probably gonna be faster because my movement's better. But, like, I've seen a lot of runners do that, and, like, I don't know, I don't do it. I don't do it. Like, I don't think it's faster because of how wide of a turn you have to take. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. Yeah, he touched that, like, really high 337. I don't know if I fucked it up at all in my run. Also, the reason why you want to do bungee then is because it lets you buffer the cartwheel input at the beginning. You can also do it from sandwich driving, but we didn't know that at the time, and I would rather move bungee later anyway because it's so fucking easy. Resetting to rubber dub or whatever, like 20 seconds faster, unironically does matter when you reset to it a lot. But anyway, look at this. Like, look how much more I was able to cut the corner. I really do believe it's faster. I'm positive it's faster. Don't know by how much, probably not that much, but still. Yeah, see, look, I got, like, mid-338. And you could tell that mine was faster as well, because Sam was able to jump to the block over there. It was simply too far away for me to do so because I was too early. This game's quite a bit darker than mine. Maybe my settings are too bright, I don't know. I kind of like bright, though, because, I don't know, I like to burn my retinas. Also, I think this is fine. Yeah, a tiny bit sloppy, but, like, that's whatever, bro. Yeah, that's completely fine. Sam's gonna be, like, the only fucking runner where I can actually compare 3K2s, because he's, like, the only one who does exactly what I do. Alright, 148.94, 145.72. He's losing 3 seconds off my gold. Granted, I, like, never see 145s, but even my segment time was a 147.24. So even my segment time was a second and a half faster, and our bungees are probably gonna be near identical. You know what I'd like to do one day? I won't have this tangent go on for too long, but I still want to say it. Like, have you seen those, like, 120-star runner comparisons that people have made, where it's like, you got, like, 2, maybe more people's gameplay, like, and then, like, they're synced up, like, per star, so you can see, like, who's in the lead, how many frames you lose on, like, entries to levels, or even within the levels themselves, or if the level has, like, you know, for example, in LLL 100, they have, like, the volcano entrance, like, it'll like wait for the other runners to catch up, and then because then you can see how much. Basically, something like that for a movie would be really cool. I can't be asked. Additionally, our routes are off sync now because, well, a couple of my strats are slightly outdated now. But also, since my run, I've changed the route so that I do bungee ball and. Yeah, I probably don't recommend bungee ball to say. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just like the time loss is so little, and then But anyway, that would be cool, but it's not really worth it with a 3-minute difference. If Sam had like, I don't know, maybe like a high 101 or like a mid 102 or something, I think if he got that, then if I could be asked, then maybe we could do something like that. We're kind of syncing the gameplay up and seeing how much time is being saved or lost. That could be interesting, honestly. I'd like to do that one day, maybe. I think it'd be cool. Alright, so yeah, you want to go through the oil there on lap 1? It doesn't matter if you take these spikes or not. It like, breaks even, but yeah, what the fuck? Lap 1? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. That's... Oh, no, it does matter. That's time loss. You do not want to do that. Well, you can, but you need to know something first. Do you see this nitro? It is slow. The only way this nitro is not slow is if you have no nitros, and Sam doesn't have any nitros. So the way to avoid this problem is to either not nitro here, which, like, breaks even, so you could just preserve the nitro, or you do this on lap 2, because then you'll have too many nitros and you need to burn through them anyway. I don't know how much that nitro loses, but I dropped it and I, like, immediately started golding. You can't cut the corner, like, super tight because the fucking turns in Weenie is stupid, but look how wide of a turn that is when you could have cut it, like, here. Like, look how wide that was. So I'm pretty sure that it's, slow to grab. You want to, like... Okay, so the way that this works is that, if you have to go on a ramp, you generally, not always, but you generally want a nitro, but the way that you want to do it is that you want a nitro so that you get the most usage of it on the ground, and by the time it's, like, just about to run out, you go on a ramp, because it still preserves some of that speed. So that is, like, the most optimal way possible to use a nitro on a ramp. So, ideally, he would have, took a very slightly worse turn to have it immediately magnetized to him, so that he could nitro, like, immediately. And then, because where that nitro is placed, I think if you nitro, like, immediately, you get, like, pretty much, like, perfect distance. So you get, like, the most optimal nitro. Otherwise, like, a part of it was wasted in midair and he lost frames. Yeah, he could have nitroed a tiny bit sooner, but that was, like, fine. Yeah, lap 2. No. Do not do that, bruv. You do not want to do that. Like, I'm pretty sure oil, like, slightly cuts your top speed, but even if it doesn't, like, it definitely fucks your acceleration really bad. There's no need to nitro there. There are other places in which you can nitro as unnecessary. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay. I wasn't paying attention for a sec. So, this is unoptimal. You remember what I said about using a nitro? You want a nitro, like, pretty much immediately, like, after you take damage and then land on the ground here. Or when you pass, like, this sort of point if you're going the other way. That'll give you, like, a perfect nitro here. And in case you're wondering how much time that actually saves, because I actually know because I timed it, 1/4 of a second. Straight up 1/4 of a second. He lost 1/4 of a second there. So, well, not even 1/4 of a second. He lost 1/4 of a second compared to nitroing here at all. And he didn't even nitro. So he probably lost even more time. It may not seem like a big deal, but especially in, like, Hundo and all tokens, I mean, that's... You take this ramp, 7 times? 8? Yeah, it's 8, because it's a ring challenge. Yeah, you take it, like, 8 times. So, 1/4 of a second times 8, so 2 seconds saved. But even in no-pause storage, it matters. I'm having, like, a tiny bit more to say than I thought I would, and that's not to discredit Sam, it just means that, like... Because, like, I didn't know what it was like to get, like, a 103, because Rub It Up Skip got kind of found at a weird time when I was going for 104. So, like, after conversion, like, you know, like, I was actually aiming for, like, 101, so it was just kind of, like, yeah. Also, on lap 3, you want to go this way, and then nitro. I mean, we haven't timed this, so this could be faster, but I don't think it is. I would be surprised if it's faster. That is not when you want a nitro either. You want a nitro, like, partway through this, like, dark patch, like maybe at the halfway point or slightly before, for maximum nitro speed. Because look how slow that was just then. Again, just, like, losing frames. And I don't know if he's doing this, so I'm just... If you're selecting the first task of a level that you're already in, the fastest way of warping is pressing A start A. I don't know if he did that, and you don't want to do it if you're, like, scrolling from one level to another. It's just if you're already in the level. So it only matters for, like, Plank, Weenie, Depression. Off the top of my head, that's it. And Knucklehead, so, yeah. But it's just, because, like, the amount of time it takes for, like, your thumb to, like, press A, release A, press A, release A, press A, when, as your thumb is releasing, you could use a finger to press start. You just save a few frames. I don't know if he was doing that, I couldn't tell, but yeah. Let's see if he upgrades. No. So optimally, I would imagine this is a fucking pain in the ass on the OG controller, but you would upgrade, like, just before the finish line, because this also prevents a lag spike. I really do not blame him for not doing that. Even then, it's hard to, like, regain control of the paddy wagon after upgrading, and, like, you know, like, taking control as optimally as possible. Because keep in mind, this is only saving, like, a small chunk of frames to upgrade here. So you could easily lose a chunk of frames if you're unoptimal anyway. But especially because, you know, OG controller fucking sucks. I would imagine that's just very unreliable. You do not want to upgrade the, well, you can. But I don't recommend it for a specific reason. I like to upgrade here because it's just because you have more time. You have more time to upgrade here. And the reason why that matters is because he, like, Sam, like, panicked, I guess, and pressed start on accident. If he was standing over here and had multiple seconds to react, he probably wouldn't have pressed start on accident. He probably would have pressed select. So then in my opinion, he most likely wouldn't have made that mistake. Okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, that was fine. Okay, he should stand a little closer to the edge. He's closer to this side than this side. You want to be closer to this side. Not like right up here, obviously, on the first two hits, but what I mean is that, because if you saw, he was so far away that he lost frames. Like, watch. Like, he still pretty much made it in time, but, like, he was still slightly unoptimal, and why even, like, have the risk in the first place? Because, like, the way that I do it, I always stand, like, in front of this pile of bones over here. Doesn't really matter where specifically, as long as it's, like, roughly the edge of the bones. And now look at how much time I have to set this up. It's just easier. Another thing as well is that Sam did, like, a slow frogfish beginning, but I don't blame him at all. This one that I do, it literally saves, like, 0.3. It's not really even worth it, but, yeah. But, you can immediately cartwheel. And then, you stand, like, over here. His second charge is actually slower, but the first one is faster, so... It saves, like, 0.3. Okay, that was optimal, to be fair. So his frogfish was pretty good, but, yeah. He also did experience a lag spike, which I did not have to. I think you can skip the frogfish cycle, the frogfish cutscene with B. With those animated cutscenes, I think you can usually skip them with B, so you can kind of, like, tap B and then quickly, like, cartwheel. At the beginning. And he does, Buffett Skydive. I actually respect that. Hold on, let's see what his, actually, we'll compare segments again. When he, because I can't compare Weenie and Frogfish. Because he upgraded in Frogfish, but let's compare after Rock Slide, because, like, what separates the boys from the men is, like, now that we're men and SCDA, but especially now that we're men, like, even if you're, like, a minute behind me, after Now That We're Men, you could easily be, like, a minute and a half behind me, 2 minutes behind me, or more. When I was comparing against Varrz, I think he was 2 minutes behind me entering Now That We're Men, and after Now That We're Men, he was about he was a little over 3 minutes behind me, if I recall correctly, so, yeah. Now That We're Men separates the boys from the men, or whatever. So... Oh, wow, he's actually doing this, like, pretty fucking optimally. Why is that dude, he's doing that really fucking risky. Holy shit. I don't even do that. Should I do that? I feel like I should. Bro. I just find it kind of, like, funny that he buffers Skydive for safety reasons, and then he just, like, is being really... The Hans trigger's, like, right fucking here. I'm surprised he's willing to... I can't believe he's not fucking touching it, to be honest. That is crazy. You can be this close. Yeah, I don't even do that. He's probably doing this a bit faster than me, that's... Because the way that I do it... Okay, so, as for the unbuffed skydive thing itself, you want to jump, like, pretty much immediately after it fades to black. You do have a few frames of leniency. And you want to have, like, good jump spacing and shit like that, and dynamic jumping. But it's kind of fucking annoying and stupid. And I don't like it. But yeah, look at the way that I do this. Like... And then he's probably saving, like... I don't know, I could see him saving, like, 7 frames on me or something, but I'm just pulling that number out of my ass. But he probably is doing that faster than me. That's fucking crazy. I should probably... Maybe I should look into the... Because I haven't really tried to do it more risky since learning it. I just knew if you went too far right, the Hans would grab you, so maybe I should look into it more. Although I'm not currently running the game, but still, I might just look into it anyway. Because that was quite optimal. But I don't know if... For all I know, there could be clips of him just, like, missing a... getting grabbed by Hans or whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of corner cutting you can do in Rock Slide. He didn't have to go that, he didn't have to turn left that hard. This is pretty lenient. Like, he could have definitely turned right a bit sooner. If you know you did it optimally, if you land, like, pretty much, like, right in front of the TNT, like, almost touching it. And I'm assuming he's not going to do the buffer here. It's probably a pain in the ass on Xbox. Yeah. I keep saying Xbox, but I mean OG. So, you have a I think he missed about, like, a frame. There's a 1-frame window here to get a boost, and it saves, like, a few seconds, like 3 seconds. But if you buffer it, much easier, but it saves 2 seconds. And I'd imagine on an OG controller, it's just kind of sucky. I have no idea if his gold, like, gets it, though. That's the thing. Because his rock slide is, like, 5 seconds slower than mine. I will say, actually... I don't think you want to jump there, unless you're going for the 10, because... if you jump, I think that slows you down a little bit, which is why, like, in the sliding ILs, people kind of do, you know, like, I say people, like, Latte and Varrz, they kind of do, like, minimum jumps, because if you're in the air longer, I think it begins to cut your acceleration a little bit, so I don't remember, but I think you want to be, like, on the ground as often as you can be, so I don't think you want to jump into the TNT. It might not lose anything, but it also might, so why take the risk? Well, I say risk as if there's risk to losing, like, 2 frames, but you know what I mean? You want to cut the corner there. Yeah, there's just no real reason not to. Yeah, he's grabbing those manlies, and he's doing the flower jump, that's fine. Because you can do the second super jump, but it loses more than the first one. And you have to go out of your way to do it as well. Because if you miss it, the backup is quite slow. So I don't blame him. I'm surprised our golds are only 5 seconds apart. I don't remember how much the second super jump saves. I think it's like 3 seconds. So his gold must have the first super jump, like 1 frame. And yeah, he's taking the right side here because it saves a second of going the left side. You want to be facing right here because the trigger is a little more right-leaning than left, and it just gives you a better line. Anyway, he got a, let's see, 2849. I was looking at the milliseconds, but they're low, so I didn't mention them. And I got a mid 2757. So he is within a minute of me. It's at 2757, so we can round it up to 28. Okay. So I think he's 52.5 seconds slower than me. Yeah? Right? I think that's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. 52.5 seconds. That's not bad, actually. I mean, some faster sandwich out of bounds shenanigans, and that'd be like 12 seconds. Add depression, that's like 18 or 17 or some shit. Probably 17. Fast corkscrew, that's like 26. Yeah. Like, this is looking pretty solid so far. I mean, Sam's over a minute ahead of Varrz. And, like, people, you know, people have so much focus on, like, yeah, no cheese and depression, but mostly now that we're onwards. They don't realize, like, how much time they're losing at the beginning anyway, in itself. Because Sam has already saved a minute over Varrz, and there was a 3-minute difference between them. So, then Sam, for the remaining like 55 to 60% of the run saves double the amount of time over Varrz, which is crazy. But you still can't sleep on the early game. Even though, you know, the mid and late game are more important, you still can't sleep on the early game. Bowling there is fine. If you use unupgraded bowl and it's like still out and then you upgrade bowl, then it won't, for some reason the paddle wheel won't detect it. But if you upgrade during the bowl, then that's like fine. Also, I'm looking at his gold. His tunnel gold is a 222, so I'll keep that in mind. Alright, he's doing the fast cutscene skip. Ball on the stack. No bungee late. No bungee late. I don't get why he's not doing bungee late, because... Oh, wait, no, he is doing bungee late. Yeah, he is... Wait, what? Okay, I don't really understand, like, not bowling the eel. Because it is fairly lenient, and... Even if you fuck it up, like, you don't lose much time for going for it and then missing it compared to doing what he's doing. I mean, let me put it like this, right? If I recall correctly, doing it the way that he's doing it does save time, but it saves, like... Okay, also as well, the advantage of it as well is that you get to do bungee later, which means that the cycle is consistent, which in itself probably saves time. But ignoring that, bungee late, the way that he's doing it, saves like 2 seconds, right? But if you do it, bowling here, then it saves like 7 seconds. So it saves like 5 seconds for something that is quite easy. I don't understand why he's not doing it. Because let me tell you something, like, it is easy. It is way easier than, like, sandwich out of bounds and stuff like that. I really don't... It almost makes me think he's not aware of it somehow. But I don't know how that'd be possible. You can... For very little time... Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about, right? You know, he was getting Manleys in 3K and BBBH and stuff. He could have bowled, this stack here and lost, like, basically nothing and got more Manleys. And no spew boost, that's completely expected. Do not fucking do that shit until you have, like, 102 or lower. He could have... Yeah, he should have bowled there. It would have been faster. He could have... Because if you charge, like, a pretty fast shot, it'll barely catch the turret. And because he had to wait for the platform cycle, it was just optimal to... Now he has 1 health, and if he fucks up at all, then he's gonna be losing a bunch of time. That was good. Although he... See, this is another thing as well. If he slightly delayed his second ball shot, he could have killed the Papa, which A, means that there's just no way that he can get in the way. And, B, get Manleys for very little time loss. And C, it is possible to fuck this up, because the way that this works is that the lobster only registers attacks every, like, 2.2 seconds, I believe. So if you attack him twice within 2.2 seconds, he won't take damage the second time, so... You know, maybe you could call it, like, invincibility frames or whatever, like that kind of thing, effectively. He was fine here, but purposely delaying it also effectively guarantees as well, at least on his second shot, that he's not bowling too early. Like, even I delay my shot there. I mean, he probably did those ball shots a tiny bit faster than me, but I don't think it was worth it. He could have double jumped and he could have avoided that jellyfish. So he could have corner cut his slide amount and dodged the jellyfish. But yeah, his gold is 222.45. Not bad for not doing Spewer Boost. With Spewer Boost, it would be like about like a 217-ish. And my gold is 209. Yeah, so he's still losing a bunch of time off of me. Because, you know, I lost a bit of time with that, like, not killing the turret. And, probably movement for the rest of it. Oh, and he had to wait longer for the eel as well. That was the other thing. Second try bash gang. Happens to the best of us. That is pretty fucking safe. That's really unnecessarily safe. He might be scared of the game, like, not updating his position. Wow, he's... that's actually smart. Okay, I actually like that. Normally, players, including myself when I used to do Chris Skip, would stand, like, here. And then we would walk off, like, here. He's doing it more optimally. That's actually smart. I haven't seen someone do that before. I like that, but I don't like this, circling around. Genuinely, like, let's like, counter, right? I think he's losing, like, over a second from how he's setting that up, like, genuinely. Keep in mind that I need more speed than him because I'm doing Quick Chris, and we'll get to Quick Chris in a second. But, like, straight up, like, this is how I do it, like... I just jump here. I'm pretty sure I'm saving, like, a second on him. And then this is Quick Chris. I don't really... I mean, maybe recommend it to him, but, like, you need the practice mod, essentially. Because, like, you really need that token spawned. So you need to spin for this. Like, you need the speed. And then you need to cut some of it still. And then you... If you're optimal, then you can ledge grab this. And then you kind of position yourself, like, around here. And then you walk off. And then you kind of, like, flick left and press B at, like, the same time. You can't walk, like, too far off the edge or too little off the edge. You know, you're just, like, abusing coyote frames and stuff like that. It's, like, kind of weird. There isn't that large of a window for it, and a lot can go wrong, but that saved me, like, 4 to 4.5 seconds. So, yeah. And I would imagine he does monster skip, because why else would he be killing himself? Yep. That's a strange setup, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you get it. That's all that matters, so I'm not really going to comment on that. What I will comment on, though, is that this camera angle is unoptimal. I think the battle community found this. In a situation where you can turn the camera, like, if when walking into a spatula/token, if it flips SpongeBob around like this, but you need to, like, walk forward, it's faster to turn the camera so that SpongeBob collects the token to his side, so that instead of fully turning around, he's only, like, partially turning around, because it saves, like, I don't know, like, 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, something like that. It's probably, like, 3 frames to, like, collect it on its side, or, like turn the camera so SpongeBob is collecting it, like on his side, like, facing this way. Because then you barely have to turn. Also, I do something called monster buffer. I also pan the camera down. I'm a big fan of panning the camera down. And, I didn't, yeah, this run is old enough to where I wasn't aware of this, but, yeah. Monster buffer is not really worth it. Like, I'd say SpongeBob buffers are harder than Patrick buffers because his animation ends sooner, so you have less time to react. Especially because you're trying to react after, like, getting damaged by the fucking eyelash, just making sure that you didn't get, like, thrown into the lava. And it only saves, like, half a second. So, yeah, do not recommend it. Anyway. Floating my block, floating my cock. Oh, the other thing with Disco Buffer that I forgot to mention, there is a ledge grab skip. And when you buffer a damage boost, you get a little more height. When I tell you that the consistency difference between the ledge, like, with the ledge grab skip and BBBH, the difference in consistency between non-buffer and buffer is, like, fucking insane. You go from, like, nearly never seeing it to getting it, like, occasionally. And if you practice it, I was getting it, like, a third of the time, maybe a little more than that, compared to never seeing it. So, in those instances where the buffer, like, where you get the ledge grab skip with the buffer, you pretty much save time over not... Because Patrick's ledge grab is, like, 2 seconds, and the buffer is 1 second, so... You save a second. Straight up. Like, I bet you I got it in my run, and I saved a second over him, despite the fact that he should be saving time over me, because he's not buffering, and he's not going to buffer here, I bet. But, yeah. Gets it first try, and see, like, yeah, like, he's doing bungee light. So he saved time on me there. I can't deny that, he saved time on me there, but... Because I did monster buffer, and I got the ledge grab skip in BBBH, like, I made that time back and then some. Like, some people have been like, oh, well, could you get, like, a 3x without buffers? And it's like... Imagine, like, how much that would drastically increase the difficulty of the run. But, like, with some of them, it's not even a second of time save, like, per buffer. And even if you can save a second, well, you can easily lose a second somewhere else, so it's like... You know? Anyway, he's not doing bungee ball, that makes sense. I would like to go into a bit of detail on that in a sec, though. He lost infinite dives because he was careless with his, diving. Strange camera angle, but if it works, it works. And he got the spawner, which is, you know, it's slightly unoptimal, but not the end of the world. Did he gold? No. Alright, so what is he... 217.95 versus 205.43. Alright, so when you subtract bungee ball and fucking what's it called? Quick Chris. That's like 7 seconds? So I'm still saving like 5 seconds on him. That's kind of mad. 5 seconds? How am I saving 5? I mean, my ending movement is better because I don't hit the spawner. Interesting. Alright, well anyway, so he was 52 seconds off of me. Now, what is this as a segment time? Oh, it's fucked for me. Alright, he got, like... 446? I think-ish? Like, 446? Actually, I could probably tell by... Okay, it was, like, barely 446. And I got... 423. Yeah. So that's what I mean, like... I don't know why he's not doing bungee light properly. That's, like... It's not free time save, but it's pretty fucking easy for 5 seconds. There was no need for that. There was absolutely no need for that. If he's gonna do Invisible Crate 3 meter, I swear to fucking god I'm gonna strangle him. That might be why he's doing that, actually. Okay, I just won't say anything for now, then. Oh yeah, so 52 seconds, but now it's, so 33:35 versus 32:21. So it went from a 52-second difference to something like a minute. Wait. Yeah, a minute 14. Yeah. Although that's not that much, only a minute 14 behind me. Because theoretically, if he went just as fast as me for the entire rest of the run, if you had a minute 14 to my time, that's barely a 102. Like, it's almost a 101, so, like, theoretically, that's like, yeah, that's not bad. As long as you don't lose a minute off of me for the rest of the run, you get 102. Holy peak. Oh, wait, let me check this. Alright, you can spin cartwheel double jump to get slightly more distance, which lets you, and his jump was pretty high. Why you grab it? Why are you grabbing this? Losing frames, my boy. And not doing circle 8, that's fine. Circulate saves like 4 seconds, but it's kind of hard. Although I think he should probably start doing it, in my opinion, after he... If he comes back to the category looking for a 102, that is some time loss if I've ever seen it. I don't know how much that lost, but oh god, and a ledge grab. I've seen that ledge grab sometimes, it's kind of rare. Yeah, he hasn't really made any, like, notable mistakes throughout the run. This run is, like... I would imagine for a skill level, this run was pretty incredible going into SCDA, because there aren't really any, like... Other than adding strats, there's no, like, really notable mistakes, really, is there? And then, like, that was finally, like, the first one, which actually kind of reminds me of Cole's run, which had, like, no mistakes until he made, like, one mistake in SCDA, and then that was basically it. Patrick 1 Melon, like to see that. And he does the optimal thing where you grab the warp in midair. That's what I like to see. No ledge grab skip. I think it's worth just practicing. It doesn't hurt to practice. I might as well show it. Actually, I don't need to go this far back. Well, I guess I can show this. Yeah, slightly more distance. And then I guess I can show circulate as well. It is hard, but... Because, like, you don't have much time to react before the foggers spawn on you, and your angle could be off anyway, and then you need to, like, grab the warp in midair, and then you need to, like, buffer the token later. It's kind of annoying. Especially because the camera angle for it is not very good. But yeah, nothing to really comment on here, but the ledge grab skip... Kind of, like, coast along it a little bit. You gotta get a bit of a feel for it, and afterwards... I did a double jump. You want to do a single jump so you can start cartwheeling ASAP. I don't know how much this even saves. Might be like half a... I want to say like a second, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you could have cartwheeled a bit sooner. This angle's fine, but you want to be more like directly facing the checkpoint. Probably could have hit the trigger like a frame or two earlier. Now, let's see if he does what I dread. No. So why the fuck is he getting so many manlies, bro? It's so unnecessary. Like, you'll have enough. And also, at the beginning of SCDA, by the way, he did grab it, well, he slightly fucked that up, but if you do that, like, really fast as, like, a half a second stack, didn't even need it, right? Because he got, like, 150 manlies for it. But, like, all you need to do is make sure that you have enough for throw by the time you throw the foggers at the end of the level. As long as you have enough by then, that is really all that matters, so I really don't understand why, because this is just losing frames. Well, not even, that was, because, especially because he, like, didn't even grab it optimally, so that 0.5 second stack was probably more like a 0.7 second stack. Also, wow, that was really safe. That's not even factoring the other manlies he got that he didn't need. Okay, I did it on optimally because I'm cringe, but you would, like, cartwheel into it. That's risky as fuck, but at the very least, I think you could have tapped cartwheel. The danger of that is running into the TNT, but the backup isn't that slow. You just continue the run like normal and then do 3 meter later. Doesn't actually lose that much, you'd be surprised. But yeah. Oh, I actually want to compare Junkyards, because he's, like, the only person who does Junkyard the exact same as me. Let's see. 208.41, 205, wait, no. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't, because of fucking circulate, yeah. Yeah, that was decently fast. Missed the jump, that's okay. Probably going full screen, miss a second jump. Oh god. Yeah, that wasn't bad. What I would maybe recommend, I mean, you could do a cartwheel buffer here. Like, I understand doing the buffer emitter, like, on the OG controller would kind of suck, and you wouldn't save much from doing, you know, cartwheel buffering it, but I don't know, this is just a potential suggestion. But this is looking fine. The cycle seems, like, fine. He tried to get the ledge grab skip there, but failed. Upgrading throw here is completely fine, but again, that was unnecessary. He could have definitely cut that. Definitely could have gone the left side. Although, it doesn't matter if he... It depends on if he would have made this cycle, and I can't tell if he would have. This is your last opportunity to upgrade throw. But he's like 400 over what he needs. So because he missed a few jumps, he couldn't slam the move fast enough. You want to stand more like here. It's pretty hard to get this properly, but the move was in a good spot here. You want to stand more like around here, and then like position the camera properly. The camera was like okay, but he needed to stand a bit further back. Now he's losing a whole bunch of seconds. That wasn't really something I realized until I started running 100% though. So there's no point in checking my gameplay because I know I would have made the same mistake as well. As for this, could have, you know, slightly been, you know, had a more direct path to the melon. Biaz is looking completely fine. So his gold is a 158.53. Mine's a 148.85. And keep in mind, the 3 meter shit is only saving 3 seconds. So, yeah, I'm saving a lot of time there. Like, floating block late saves, like, about 10 if your cycle is good. Well, okay, my gold is fucked. I got a really, really good cycle. At the time, we didn't really know how to replicate it. I think I know how to replicate it now. It would just be hard. So normally I get, like, 152 if I play really good. So without 3 meter, it'd be, like, 155. So I'm saving, like, 3 seconds on him. I don't know if his gold has, like, any... like if he has like perfect jumps for the 3 meter or whatever. He does it slightly differently from me. Because I go forward, but he stands slightly back. But the thing is, you need to circle around a little bit for the melon anyway, so I don't really think that's saving time. And then he fucked up that, yeah, he fucked that up. If he did it like how I do it, then he would have had a bit more time. Here's how I do it. So, like, because I can just immediately pick the melon up, which is why I think it's faster anyway. And then you have more time to pick this up. I'm pretty sure the way that I do it is better. Alright. I'll be interested to see if he gets a 1 frame, actually. But yeah, now he's losing time. He didn't lose that much, but no, he didn't. I don't even know if he attempts it. Like, a little bit into the cutscene, you press A, and then a frame later, you press start. But if you don't want to, like, practice that because it's a pain in the ass... you can just mash A and start. At least you'll sometimes get it. So I don't know if he does that, but if he's not mashing A and start, at the very least, then he should be doing that. So yeah, now the cracks are beginning to form, because he wasn't even, like, again, hardly any mistakes before, and now... Not time loss galore, but he is certainly losing time. So there was, like, a minute 14 difference, I think, going into SCDA. So, now after Dennis, 38.45 versus 36.09. So, 2 minutes and 39 seconds. So, yeah, losing a lot on me now. Oh wait, did I say 36.09? Because I meant 36.32. So 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Okay, yeah, so he's lost like 59 seconds on me from SCDA, and... Oh wait, but I didn't get fucking Cirque. Never mind. Never mind, never mind. Never mind, boys. Alright, we don't need to see this. Now we need to see this. This is, like, slightly slow. Yeah, because I wouldn't have had to, like, go right there. And that was slow. This is slow. You want to just practice this a bit, because you lost, like, 2 seconds or something. And then floating block. This is looking, like, fine so far. That was slightly wide, but yeah. What matters is that, you reach here before the block rotates, which he nearly got hit by. Again, that's just another, like, movement thing. But sometimes I end up having to wait for that block anyway, so in some instances, we'd actually be perfectly synced up right now. He's taking a slightly different path from me, yeah. This is a little slow. Not bad, though, really. So that's like mid to low 117, fucked up the menuing. Because of no major glitches, I always know that for, the scroll difference from BBBH to SCDA and vice versa is 5. I've always known that, so I don't really hesitate on the menu there. But I do floating block first because I really want to get that shit out of the way. And to sync up with, like, other runners, like, you know, because most people from Dennis warp to... Actually, no, that's wrong. I just lied. Well, it's close enough anyway, from floating block to sponge bowl. But yeah, you can see I made that a little faster. But I waited, so we're perfectly synced up. This should be a little different. Yeah, see, look at the path I'm taking. It's clearly faster. So you got, like, low to mid 117. And you'll see now. Yeah. I just saved, like, at least 2 seconds. And then circulate. And then I'll just show my sponge bowl just to show, like, you know, being aggressive, essentially. Like, you slow down a little bit on the fan, but yeah, like, you can see I'm saving, like, 2 seconds or something on him. So 39.12 versus 41.24. So 3 minutes and 12 seconds. He lost a lot of time on me. Yeah. Like, we were pretty close after Now That We're Men, but yeah, now there's been time loss galore. Oh my god, oh wait, no, I thought I forgot about throwing through. I was about to fucking beat myself up for that, but no, I did not. Let's check his throwing my fruit. This seems fine. Little wide there. Yes, if he was a little, like... Yeah, that jump, that he got, like, too much height there. Could have jumped a bit sooner, and he was a bit wide there. Otherwise, because if you're fast, you can cartwheel through here. And even then, you don't want to do, like, 2 big jumps like he did just then. Again, you want to be on the ground like ASAP for cartwheel. Although cartwheeling there would be scary, to be fair. This, I can understand why he wouldn't want to jump into the token because of the thing. But let me tell you, like, his gold is 2 seconds off of mine. Yeah, he's 2 seconds off my gold. A little under 2 seconds off my gold. And that's probably the reason why. Another thing as well. You want to cartwheel down the slide. You don't want to do jumps. Cartwheeling is faster. I think it saved like 7 frames or something. And for Sunday, I'll check it, even though lap 1 doesn't have too much going on because it's still like movement and nitro management and stuff. So that's good. Yeah, that was fine. Goob is going fucking fast. He could have gone a little in front of Goob then and got like a little bit of a push, but that would have been risky. Alright, he did not nitro there, like a good boy, so that's good. You want a nitro sooner than that because of reasons I explained earlier. Yeah, running into the TNT because it lets you cut the corner better on laps 2 and 3 and lap 1. Hugging the right side here. I don't do that because you can get RNG'd. Yeah. I go wider and then I nitro, it's safer. But it's fair to nitro there. That nitro, I don't know if he does Sunday jump, so I don't know if I'm gonna beat his ass. That nitro is actually fast, we've timed it. I don't remember how fast, but we've timed it. It's fast. You wanna grab that nitro that he skipped? That is weirdly wide. Yeah, that's weirdly wide. I think he does that so he can see the pole sooner, but you need to readjust yourself, so I don't really see the point. I don't know how much he's losing, but definitely losing some amount of time. Let me show you what I was talking about on lap 2, actually. Or on lap... Yeah, lap 2, for the ice cream. Yeah, like, this is... this is safer. And then... Here... As you can see, my turn was a lot better. I probably straight up saved like half a second over him, or maybe a bit less. The way this works is that you nitro on, like, the right side. Although he was more right than he probably should have been. I feel like that just makes it harder. You want to be a little closer to the pole. And then you kind of, like, tilt the stick left a bit. But yeah, this is looking good. Okay, he doesn't do Sunday jump. If you're going for Sunday jump, you want to have as many nitros as you can reasonably have. Because if you miss it, then you need to recover it ASAP, so you lose the minimum amount of time, but he doesn't need to worry about that. Yeah, this is all looking, like, fine. But again, it's just like... See, like, I don't see the point of readjustment if you... Like, he went too far left and then tried to readjust, but then he was too far right, so that's why you aim closer to the pole in the first place. I feel like that miss was very, avoidable. Losing... Okay, so this saves, like, 8.5 seconds if you do it optimally. The way he's doing it is probably saving, like, 8, but that miss... Compared to getting it, probably lost, like, 11. So that's a big time loss. That nitro was good. But yeah, 406 gold is not bad, because after applying, like, Sunday jump, that'd be, like, a low 4 flat, low 402. And my gold is, like, a high 359, but that was after my... Like, before, it was 4 flat 0.21, so... He's still losing, like, 2 seconds on me, but again, he can maybe save, like, roughly a second from... lining up Spiral Skip better, I would imagine. 245 gas, that's actually pretty fast. Like, I remember Latte posted his PB splits today, and he got, like, a 252 gas or something, and I was just thinking, like, how? I don't want to be mean, but, like, I don't know how. But anyway. Yeah, he's getting more manlies again. I don't see what the point is. If you cut the corner here, it saves half a second, like here. Saves half a second. Oh, also, I should say, I missed Sunday Jump in my PB, so Sam would have saved time over me if he didn't miss Spiral Skip. Although his, at the cone section, he was doing that a little more optimally than me, to be fair. He could have done that a bit sooner. Yeah, could have gone off, like... Actually, wait, am I blind? Nah, I might be blind. You can single jump, but that's fucking risky. You do have a... It's easy, but you, if you miss the jump, it'll activate a cutscene that's like 6 seconds long. I know he did that for Manly's, but again, you don't need the fucking Manly's. What you would actually do is damage yourself here, and then damage yourself here. And then you can jump over this, and it saves time. Could have jumped the... Could have jumped here. Sure, would have saved something. You can tell how good your turn is here from whether or not you get this extra, which we call card an extra. Like, if you're optimal, then you can turn, like, as you're touching the target, and then you'll grab the extra. That's what you want to do. You actually want to do that in all tokens and Hundo, optimally in Hundo for mag, but you also want to do that, you especially want to do that in all extras, because no matter what, you'll lose time if you miss it, no matter what route you're doing. So, yeah. It's just like a small optimization thing that you should just have, like, normalized for other categories anyway, and it saves time. But yeah, like, this seems, like, pretty standard, I would say. I mean, he's probably got, like, the fastest guess gold that, like, isn't mine and probably Oofs does. I wouldn't be surprised. He seems to be cutting the corner more than a lot of people. But also, you want to jump to the right because, yeah, trigger. See, look, he has enough to upgrade guitar, and he won't even unlock guitar. We need 4 more fucking tokens. This is what I mean. Oops. This is what I mean. Anyway, here's Denise 2, 20.66. I feel like he's mistimed that gold because our golds are, like, effectively tied. Yeah, he's doing this unoptimally. Yeah, that was unoptimal. You got the 1 frame. Okay, so he does go for the 1 frame. He bowled too early here, so that loses, like... Actually, wait, was that fast enough? Okay, well, he bowled too early there anyway, so... And then, obviously, yeah, shit, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing, I'm not gonna lie. I think he's just bowling too early or some shit. He's also getting weirdly close to Dennis. You don't want to do that in case he moves to the arms. But you can see how I do it now. All of my ball shots are, like, doing something. But yeah. And then he doesn't do gas jumps, so we don't really need to see that. The only thing I want to see is what his in-game time is when he reaches the finish line. Alright, so 121 is, like, the golden standard, and he barely got a 122, so, yeah, corner cutting and shit. His gold has gas jumps, 133.66, mine's 132.95, so his gas jumps gold is actually quite good, but I would not recommend gas jumps at the moment, you really don't need them. He does the cancel thingy there, that saves like half a second with the upgrade menu, I like to see that. He does this? Okay, that's interesting, because I personally find that too difficult to do, like, to bother doing it. So what this does is, it despawns the move. Or, I mean, rather, he never spawns in the first place. This is risky, though. It's very easy to just, like, not get much speed from this, or to just fucking insta-die. So you do need to practice this. It, like, about breaks even, maybe saves a couple frames, but the advantage is that the Merv has no opportunity, because he never spawns, to shoot the targets, which makes Bungie a lot more consistent, and, you know, you're less likely to panic and be like, oh god, oh fuck, what do I do? And I imagine this is gonna be, yeah, that was about standard. I'm surprised he finds it, like, worthwhile to do that. I'll show guest jumps. I missed the jump because I'm bad. But yeah, like, normally over here the Merv spawns. But there isn't, like, I don't know, I'd say he shoots a target, like, 50% of the time, and he did. But he shot one that didn't matter that time. Well, I mean, it did matter, but I was, like, you just dive again to kind of, like, sync the cycle back up. Like, if you know what to do and don't panic at all, like, it's fairly easy to recover most of the time. But I suppose I can respect this. I feel like, in my opinion, it'd be harder overall in the long run, but I don't know. Sometimes runners are just gonna prefer doing something, and you're not gonna understand it, and that's okay. He doesn't spin here, which is surprising. I don't spin here either, but I'm just surprised because no one else does that. Especially because that spin was unneeded, I'm pretty sure. And he doesn't do the optimal clip-in. Yeah, look how much time he's losing. Lost a whole bunch of time, so if you do this instead... Wait, what's my... Oh, it's in fucking 720p. Yeah, you can do this. So, that clip in the Sam's doing is free as fuck, except, it's extremely inconsistent. But there's no skill to it, it's just random when it wants to pop you back in. But the way that I do it is 100% consistent, but it's kind of hard. I would recommend that he tries it out. I would understand why he wouldn't want to do it, but I'd say try it out. Because I would have already popped back in bounds by now, so now it's just like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. He lost like 7 seconds, maybe, ish. When he could have, I mean, he could have lost even more by doing the other one, to be fair, but you don't know. It's just, you know, 7 seconds is a lot. Let me see how he... I don't know why he circled around to grab the... He literally could have just went right and picked it up. I don't see what the point of that was. Yeah, like, he's wiggling around a bit. You want the camera to guide you. You want the camera to guide you so that you can just continue holding forward. Like, a straight angle. He keeps readjusting and bleeding frames. He's also doing this slightly slower than me, but it was still fast. The way that I do it, I actually think it increases the consistency, in my opinion, and it's really fast. Watch this. Shit's so fast. You kind of, like, jump, like, not literally on the edge, but pretty close, and you tap B, and then you do a cartwheel buffer, like, right afterwards. It's so fast. Yeah. It'll be interesting to compare more bounce golds, actually, in a sec. Does he do the fast thing here? Yeah, he got nudged a bit, but yeah, pretty much. There's a thing that you can get here called Patrick Ledge Grab, and it saves like 2 seconds, but it's hyper inconsistent. You're literally gonna see it like once every like 40 fucking planks or some shit, like it's so inconsistent. My gold doesn't have it. Because only the couple times I've gone at. It might even be less than 1 in 40, honestly, it's so bad. I've only seen it like once, and I think it was, I mean, like twice or 3 times, like since like 2021 or some shit, and I think I golded with it in like NMG or something, but yeah. Like, what's the chances you play everything to the gold and then get the Patrick Ledge Grab, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I didn't check to see if he was doing... Yeah, he's doing cartwheel jump. He could be holding cartwheel for a little longer here, but that is a bit risky. Probably could have saved a little bit of time, though, by being a little more aggressive. Oh, he doesn't split here. Okay, that, to be fair, that actually makes sense. When we transitioned from no major glitches to no pause storage, Plank was divided into 2 sections, and, you know, you do it, like, at the beginning of late game, and then, like, much later in late game. And we kind of just, like, so entering Area 2 was just part of, like, the Plank 2 split, and we kind of, like, didn't think about how you do Plank in one segment now. So it would make a lot more sense for Area 2, you know, to have a split just for Area 2 and not just, like, the Area 2 enter. But, like, I've had the golds for so long that I just... Yeah, if I were to, like, get back into running the game now... Well, the thing is, actually, I actually could fix my golds. My Plank gold, I actually golded both splits, so my gold is like a whole entire level gold. My most recent Plank gold, so... I still could, yeah, maybe I should do that. I literally have the ability to, and it, like, objectively makes more sense. I maybe should. Although, it makes the first split quite a bit longer, and the second bit split quite a bit shorter. But anyway, I just don't know what Sam would be getting here, so we're just gonna look at my, like... Area 2 enter. Although I will say something else, actually. I don't know if Sam... I don't know if he knows this, but, you want to bowl, like, slightly more to the right, because then it would immediately detonate. It would break on the clam and save, like, half a second. It's a little tricky, but, you know. And does he do fast? Yes, he's doing it. He's doing it early, though. You don't want to do it that early. You want to walk forward a bit, because it just lets you travel further when you're just waiting for him to shoot anyway. Like, look, like, that's... He didn't even get that much speed from the damage boost, but because I delay my bash... Let's see. Oh, this is when I was doing the stupid fucking jump. Okay, well, same kind of idea. You get more speed, so... If you just delay your bash a bit, it saves a little more. But generally, like, this path, if you do it as optimally as possible, saves a second of going around. But the way that Sam's doing it, maybe more like half a second, I'm not sure. But yeah. So this is hard to, like, gauge, but 308.87, I guess I could just compare it to my PB, even though I didn't gold. Wait, really? Half a second? His gold was half a second off my Area 2 enter in this actual run. I don't know what mistakes I made, but yeah, that's interesting. Alright, now, this is a big thing that got found in... I want to say, like, early 2023. He's going this way. We'll see how that plays out. I guess that's fine. I guess it doesn't really matter, then. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I will say, he's wall jumping sooner than me. I go closer to the spikes. We timed that to be faster, like, 5 trillion millenniums ago, so it's possible it's not faster, but... Wall jumping in general feels slow, so I would imagine... I mean, well, let's count the number of wall jumps he had to do after the fact. So you got, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many did I have to do? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was, yeah. So I'm saving, like, a second and a half or some shit over him, or a second something. I'm saving something. That is risky. Let's get a replay on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The minimum number of wall jumps you can do here is 8. That is risky. I actually used to do 10, though I did say to myself, if I ever come back to the game, I'm gonna do 8, because it saves, like, a couple seconds, but... it's risky. Even in this run, I did 10. Granted, I was shitting myself, but my wall jumps were bad. You can see that I hit the ceiling at 9, but, like, you need to be facing this way. So you need, like, good wall jumping to be able to get up here with 8. I mean, you don't have to be absolutely maxed, but, like, you really should be trying to hit the ceiling. It's you can't really see it properly, but, like, you can just kind of tell that I hit the ceiling, like, here. I hit it right there, if you're paying attention. And then you, like, hold forward on the final wall jump. So, yeah, he did that 2 wall jumps faster than me. You want to spin quite light here. Well, ideally. Let's see if he did. You want to spin a little later than that to get more height. Obviously, his height's bound to be fine. It's kind of funny how much of Plank has turned into, like, a pseudo-auto-scroller, because, like, there isn't much you can do to optimize the wall jumps. Like, yeah, I did 1 wall jump less than him, but that's it. And then he did the wall jumps faster than me. But, like, this section is literally just a height thing, so it's going to be the same for, like, every runner. And he saved time on me. I guarantee you he saved time on me here, because look at how, like, he had 8 wall jumps. Well, he was, like, pretty much at peak height, but he spun a little earlier than me. So, I bet you that was a little faster than what I did, and I did more wall jumps. Actually, okay, mine was a little faster, but he did less wall jumps, so he literally is ahead of me in this split. You can't tell because we split at different times, but yeah, he's ahead of me right now. Actually, well, we're probably even because of the wall jump thing. We're probably even. Second try thingy plus ledge grab. Wah, wah. I don't like turning the camera here because when you turn around, it's hard to, like, keep a good angle. So you'll probably, like, lose speed as you turn around, and thus you're more likely to ledge grab. And even then, just slowing down in the first place, not a good thing. So now I'm ahead of him because of stuff I mentioned a second ago, but I think his bash boost was a little faster than mine. I could have bashed a little sooner, but look. So I'm just, like, ahead of him. And then, I don't know if he does monumental. Yeah. So, that's nice to see. Although, yeah, that can happen. It's pretty finicky, like, where you have to stand. You just get used to it, but yeah, it's finicky as fuck. If you do this, it saves, like, half a second, but I don't really recommend it. I mean, maybe. With, like, the practice mod, it's pretty easy to practice, so maybe then, but otherwise, it's kind of too out of the way. When I first implemented it, I was losing, like, actually a lot of time there, but it's just one of those things I brute force until it magically worked, and now I, like, never miss it, so, yeah. What I will say is that I haven't seen him upgrade guitar, which is making me extremely confused on why he was grabbing all those fucking manlies. Anyway, we can compare planks. Well, in the segment, I got a 452. And in his segment, he got 5.5? Yeah, he got 5.5. So he lost 13 seconds on me. Wait, how did he lose that much? His sponge glide was faster than mine. And yeah, he lost a bit of time, but I don't understand, because I thought we were, like, even going into area 2. And then we broke even at the end of the sponge glide, and then I saved, like, a few seconds on him, but I don't understand where that 13's coming from. I don't fucking know where that's coming from. No idea. But is it really 505? Yeah, it is 505. I don't understand where that's coming from. Whatever, bro. Also, the video game music's gonna... Yeah, I clicked on a different one because the video was about to end. This is taking longer than I thought it would. But anyway, yeah, so 53.43 versus 56:43. Oh, that's incredibly easy to... Yeah, 3 minutes. So he was under a minute behind going into Now the Men, over a minute behind out of Now the Men, and then, like, I don't remember, out of, like, SCDA, I think it was, like, I don't remember. I think it was, like, 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes or something, but yeah. Then he actually got a pretty respectable plank, honestly, but... Yeah, all the time loss from, like, guest jumps and Dennis 2 and fucking, you know... And also, grabbing manlies he doesn't need, let me tell you. Alright, let's see the Mindor leapage. Yeah, like, all this hesitation in the menu just goes away the more you play the game. I just know how many scrolls I gotta do ahead of time, so I just don't think about it. Alright, he's doing this. And he got Mindy skip. Alright, cool. Actually, I do want to... Alright, so like mid-52, so you'll see what I got instead. I like how the first, like, 25 seconds of the split is basically just fucking loads and menuing. But yeah, look what I'm doing. That was unoptimal. Slightly on that was fine. That was fine. So he got like a mid 52, and then look at me. I know he hesitated in the menu, but I got like a low 50. That was not for menuing alone. Like I just like I saved time over him. I think the save it was timed ages ago, but I think the saves if you do it perfectly like 2 to 2.5 seconds. So what you do is that like you kind of like fast tap. I say fat. I mean you don't have to mash. I just mean like kind of. Just tapping select and B. Because like in Plank, you can force the upgrade menu open instead of the actual menu, which opens sooner. And because you open it so many times, like it accumulates time save. The problem is that it's inconsistent because you have a window of time after closing the upgrade menu to accidentally open it again if you press select, and it can just lag a little more than other times. It's just kind of inconsistent and stupid. You can also hold select, though. You can hold select and then mash B, and then after closing the menu, you can hold select. You can let go of select and then hold it again. That doesn't save as much, because for some reason, the menu... Because I think it's because you're holding a button, like, it, like, fully registers the upgrade menu opening, so it takes a little longer to close, but that... I wouldn't call that free time save, but I think it's relatively easy time save, and that's still saved probably like a second. So I think that's something to look into. Anyway, time for Knucklehead. A lot of people get lazy with the Knucklehead optimization because they're just like, oh, I got Mindy skip, lol. It's kind of like the Neptune waiting room. That could have been a little better. Could have cut the corner more. That wasn't, like, bad, though. That was just a bit suboptimal. That eyeball is RNG, but luckily it was nice. So, you can do a thing here. I don't know if I did it in my run. Yeah, I did. Okay. So if you do this, you get a little hop. You have to, like, hold left. And you don't want to go, like, insanely far left, but, like, you want to go quite far, and then you want to, like, keep holding left, and then, like, when you get to, like, this sort of point, you just let go. Or you can keep holding left. It saves, I don't remember how much, it's somewhere between 1/4 of a second to 1/3 of a second. I don't think it's hard. I think you should look into it. You want to cut the corner there? I've never understood why runners do that. I've never understood why runners do this, because... Like, what do you think is faster, right? Going off-road and losing speed. Or going through the oil and losing, like, no speed. Like, it's like, yeah, you have to... You cut the corner, like, a tiny bit better, but, like... You lose the speed by going off-road. Actually, I can't tell if you lost speed there, but even then... I don't think that's faster. I don't know, I've never done it. I don't think it's faster. You can cut that a little better. You do that? Dude, I dropped that. I really... No, that shit fucking sucks. It saves, like, almost nothing. And, yeah, you're likely to get something like that. It's not even, like, ideal. I mean, that probably, like, broke even or save a tiny bit, but I don't recommend it. I don't think it is worth your time, in my opinion. You want to run through the TNT, it's faster. Cut the corner better. It also helps with those 800 extra manlies that you don't need. Could have cut that a tiny bit better. No middle door, so that's half a second lost. Okay, he should have nitroed a little later. Look how early he nitros. And because of that, after the second nitro... He probably does this on purpose to get more control, but look, just lost some speed. It was unnecessary. Yeah, I think that was fine. You want to, again, you want to directly run into that nitro because, then you get the most usage out of it before running into the finish line. That's probably losing you, like, a fifth of a second or something, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. So, he has, like, it was like a mid 325, mine's a mid 322. So, like, a lot of that is gonna be, doing the faster Mindy skip, and then part of it then is gonna be, like, my little hop that I do. Partly negated by his spikes strat, but yeah. Yeah, so he's doing the thing, and most runners don't do that. I don't think anybody does this except for me and Sam. It's optimal to upgrade Guitar and Neptune, because unupgraded Guitar's animation is faster. But why was he getting all those fucking manlies, bro? 830 more than what you need. And you might be thinking, like, oh, I didn't lose that much, didn't lose that much. Lost over half a second at the beginning of SCDA, and half a second in Gask. That's like 1.2 seconds immediately, right? And then lost frames in 3K, spun the jellyfish in Netherman Tunnel, cartwheeled the turret in BBBH, that's like a small amount of frames. And you're 800 over. That is incredibly unnecessary. He had enough entering the level, entering Plank, when he didn't even have enough at the beginning of the level. And even in Plank, you get, like, a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, the more strats we add, the more manlies we skip. I do get a 2-second stack in SCDA. Well, it's pretty much 0 seconds if you do it as fast as possible, but it's, like, really fucking hard. But anyway, point being, yeah, I don't think that, he realizes how much time he's losing. Like, all these frames that could have been saved for free. All those juicy frames, SMH. I mean, even then, there were just some where it's just like, yeah, like, he could skip quite a few things and still have enough. At that point, it's kind of just like, yeah, if you have a couple hundred more than what you need, you have a couple hundred more than what you need, but, like, all those stacks that he was getting, I don't even, like... It would probably just break even to just get the stack in SCDA that gives you, like, 700 to 800. And that gives you an actually fucking insane amount, which lets you skip even more. Let me check if... So, the way that this works is that, after his attack, like, ends... He'll only go into his first-person phase if you're on the ground afterwards. So Sam lost some frames, but that's just natural. The actual thing is making sure you get here in one shot. Because otherwise you lose 2 seconds, and he is doing this correctly, so that's good to see. That's what, that's what I like to see. And then for the second hit... Yeah, so that, again, like, that was... Could have avoided that as, like, half a second, although he did make that in time. I don't do that, but that's fair. Yeah, I don't do that. But then he doesn't manipulate there, whereas I do. Because I want to stand behind, like, right behind Krabs, not, like, near him. I want to be right behind him. But you still could manipulate on the second one, too. Maybe I should have shown that in the fucking movie tutorial. Whatever, bro. I'm so sick of making that fucking thing. I went over it again, and, like, everything's cropped properly now. But I need to insert a few clips that don't currently exist. And I need to redo, like, 5 billion lines because of voice cracks and stuff. But anyway, there is a time save here that he's not doing, but I'll go over that in a bit. Because I don't even... You probably shouldn't even be doing it anyway. The main thing, again, is, like, not getting hit by Neptune, and also making it to crabs in one shot every time, which is only hard on phase 1, and he got it, so that's, like, the main thing. So yeah, this is looking good. As well as, like, skipping the cutscene fast and guitaring and stuff. Like, fast and detonating early, but that's kind of obvious. You'll probably be losing, like, basically no time compared to any other runner here, I would imagine. Yeah. So... That was not a bad Neptune. So his gold is a 345. However... Mine is a 339. I don't know where that time save is coming from. Oh, time loss, rather. I don't know where that's coming from. Let me check something real quick. I want to see something. I think he's getting the slow animation here. Because he's upgrading really, really early. I can't tell. That looks like upgraded guitar with how delayed that was. I think he... Okay, I mean, that's not losing that much, but like 8 frames or something, but... I think... I'm pretty sure he's not getting the full time save from this. That's strange. I don't know how he's losing this much, though. Might want to do, like, a side-by-side... I mean, I'm not doing that right now, but, like, you know what I mean. Does he deflect at the beginning? Yeah. I don't know how he's losing that much. Because even the spinning strat, which I was going to show in a bit, but I can just show it now. I don't even do it in phase 1, do I? Yeah, I don't even do it on phase 1. Like, I probably would now if getting back into the game, but... Yeah, I don't know where this time loss is coming from. Like, as much as like 5 seconds, I really do not know where that's coming from. Like, I'm playing it slightly more optimally with, like, the Neptune, like... Oh, and I'm detonating guitar. But still, though, that much time? That just seems a bit weird. Oh, wait, my 339 gold, it does the spin strat. I just realized, I think it's from Cheap Ascent, or it's from some other category where I was able to create an equivalent. So it might... Oh, no, it can't be Cheap Ascent because I upgrade. Yeah, so it must be from, like, Early Powers or something. So I probably was more aggressive and spun behind... Oh, it just didn't exist back then. Okay. Right, so how am I supposed to show it when it didn't exist? I'll be right back. I have made my return. I just clicked on a random part of the video and just resumed the recording. So, this strat is, like, kind of weird as how to explain, but, you spin, like, shortly before Neptune zaps you, and it, like, pierces through you. But the reason why this saves time is because you are much closer to Neptune, which means you could detonate significantly earlier. Well, not significantly earlier, but comparatively, you could do it quite a bit sooner. I don't remember how much it saves, but I think if you do it 6 times, yeah, probably saving, like, 2 seconds. Very risky on the first hit. It's easier if you have upgraded spin, because that means you can be more aggressive here. But obviously you're not going to have that in no pulse storage unless you're a beginner, and even then you might just not want to upgrade it because of time loss. Although upgrading spin is literally just, like, objectively optimal in Hundo and all tokens, but yeah. And I did this for, like, every hit. You could tell on the last hit just then I did it kind of, like, slow, but yeah. Also, another thing as well is that the way the SAM is... Like, that was good, but, like, I'm noticing that for the other hits... Actually, no, I was saying that he was doing... I was about to say that he does, like, a turn in midair, but he's not really... Well, that was a little unoptimal, yeah. See, yeah, definitely lost a few frames. Still, though, even if you... Yeah, so my gold should be, like, a 330-41 or a 342, so... Like, the rest of that time loss is, like, not upgrading guitar at the right time, and, like, not being fully optimal with, like, the phase 1 shit, I guess, and maybe not skipping the cutscenes as fast. Yeah, no, okay, I think he's playing safer the further in he goes. I think that's what's going on. Alright, well, anyway, there was quite a bit to analyze. It was quite interesting. More interesting than I thought it would be. I think there are some time saves that he should tackle, but honestly, it's... like, at a point now where it's, like... I think just doing more runs would be beneficial as well. We might be able to figure out how Mindy Skip works in the near future. If so, then, you know, making Mindy Skip 100% consistent would save some god runs. Yeah. Basically, I think that if Sam wanted to, it would probably be quite hard, but, you know, add a few time saves, just do more runs. I don't think it would take him too long to get a 102. I think it'd be a bit of a journey. I don't think he'd get it like that fast, but I don't think it would take him like super duper long. So yeah, I guess that's the difference between... I mean, I didn't really directly compare his run and Varz's run, but yeah, 3-minute difference between the two, and then 3-minute difference between me and Sam. I might, if Crow gets like a mid to high 109, I might ask them for permission to analyze their run. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's kind of funny because my biggest takeaway from this was actually just, Bungie, now that I'm in Bungie, he really should be doing Eel Ball. Really should be doing it. Saves 5 seconds is easy. That's like definitely the easiest time save he has. Taking a slightly better line in SCDA and 3K floating block. Slightly more optimal nitro uses. Just stuff like that. But yeah. When you get a time like 103, the amount of strats that you're not doing really does begin to, like, because obviously when you have, like, a 109, you can so easily get away with, like, not doing 3-meter and stuff. I think Sky's 109 doesn't have 3-meter. It's hard to remember. Or at least I think they said if they came back, they would want to not do 3-meter, which is, like, a crazy statement. Point being, Sam is at the point where movement is going to be... a hindrance, yes, but honestly, a good chunk of it as well as strats. So, I don't know, maybe like half this time save, or half this time loss compared to me is probably movement, and then the other half is like strats, or maybe a bit more on strats, but yeah, something like that. So, do more runs, maybe add a few things, you don't have to, but it'd be, you know, beneficial too with a few things, I think. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.